Hey YouTube, what is going on? It is Jax here back with another video, and today we're going to be doing something new on the channel. I'm going to be in my clan, Clash Heads. This is the clan where I normally am, unless I'm in like an in-season clan or something. And this is a clan for the official Pekka Royale Discord server. We have a ton of great Pekka players, including myself. I'm not as good as some of the others, but I am in there. We have myself, we have Sherry, Siege and Sherry, we have Sam here. We have all those great Pekka players that you know. Other than Fat Cat, we're trying to get them, but at the moment we have a ton of great Pekka players. You can come in and chat everything Pekka. We have matchup guides, we have coaches, including myself, where if you ping us, we will come try and answer your questions. Generally just a very great environment as well, so I'll have links to the Discord as well. And if you have a 6300 PB and are willing to do all 4 of your war attacks every week until we get our chest, this clan is looking to have you. But yeah, I'm going to be, in my clan, we're going to be analyzing some replays of my clanmates that are shared some Pekka replays. Sorry, I'm trying. This is the first time recording the intro, so we're going to be recording first off presence here against Alexi LMMC, I think. He wanted me to note that he accidentally clicked the battle button right after he woke up when playing this, but we're going to just watch this replay, and I'm going to try and point out mistakes that he's made and things that he's done well. He won this game, so we might try and get a loss or two, but he did end up winning this game. Oh man, giant first play. This could have been really bad if his opponent had a Musketeer. If his opponent goes Musketeer behind the Giant, he could have been in big trouble. So he's going to go with a Pekka in that position. Not a bad Pekka placement. He's going to reach the Giant at the bridge. It's what he wants to happen. So a good idea from him there. Let's see what he does with this Graveyard. He's going to Marcher the back. And the opponent almost activated the King Tower. If he didn't place the Marcher so quickly, I think the Skeleton would have tried to activate there. He does take quite a bit of damage, unfortunately, though, because that's what happens when they Giant Graveyard and Bats. The Pekka dies, and I don't really think there's anything he really screwed up there. He's going to go in with a double lane push here of a Battle Ram and a Bandit. Nice zap reaction time. Going to get the Battle Ram connection. In my opinion, I would have gone same lane and put the Battle Ram in front with a Bandit behind, so that if he played his mini Pekka, you could overwhelm it with the Bandit, then zap the Skarmy and have everything in one lane to go and kill it, especially since kill the tower, especially since he used the arrows. But what he did works out great too. He ends up getting a Ghost on the counter push. That's gonna force out, I believe, a Musketeer from his opponent. Let's see if he does it. Oh no, he's actually just gonna eat it. He's just hovering the Musketeer. I haven't watched these replays beforehand. In fact, this is the only replay that I have so far. So there will be cuts. I have to edit. No, I'm kidding. Just the export time. But he's going to go with a Marcher in the back to mirror the Musk. Not really anything else he can do there. It's not going to end up working out great because the opponent can just Giant Graveyard. And he goes in with a Bandit. I think that was not the greatest Bandit there. You need to save as much Elixir as you can for the Giant Graveyard because now he has to zap. And look at how low on Elixir he is. He's not going to be able to support this Pekka. And the Pekka is basically dead to the Bats as well because he went in with the Bandit. He gets some nice damage in the other lane, but it's the other lane, so it's not exactly mattering the most right now. Plus, he ended up having to use his Zap, which now he can't kill the Skarmy. Not like it would have connected anyway, the Pekka, but it's always good to be able to zap the Skarmy immediately so that your cycle stays aligned, so the next time they play the Skarmy, you have their Zap. So a good Battle Ram knowing that he didn't have the mini Pekka, and a good Marcher there. I think that was a bit aggressive, but it ended up getting the job done with what it was intended to do. And then a good Bandit to protect the Marcher. You want to be protecting the Marcher, so he's got the right idea. Forcing out arrows from his opponent here. I think he shouldn't have bled that much Elixir. Playing an Ewas in the back is fine there, considering how much Elixir the opponent spent. And the opponent goes in Giant Graveyard. I don't like how the opponent is switching lanes here. They really should be going same lane every time with the Giant Graveyard because they're splitting up their damage too. A very easy defense for presence here. He's playing this pretty well so far. Just a few mistakes that I've seen. Nothing like game losing though, which is good. Otherwise, he would have lost this game. Now he has 2 Ghosts in the left lane. I want to see how this works out. 2 Ghosts is something you don't see quite incredibly often. But he's going to go in for a Marcher at the bridge. That Marcher was okay. Not the best, not the worst. Could have been better, could have been worse. Definitely not at the end of the world there. He's going to go with the Poison, and the Barb does finish off the tower. So generally pretty well played from Presence there. Just a general advice on the matchup is when they go for stuff in the back, you only want to commit as much Elixir as that unit costs so that if they Giant Graveyard, you can go Pekka Ewas as fast as can. Because that's like the best way to defend, especially if you can get the Ewas to run behind the Pekka and not go in front. You'd have a big counter push, probably only take about 1,000 damage. So well played from Presence there. I think that was definitely a good match, and he deserved that win. And I'll catch you guys in the next replay. Alright, so we're going into the second replay here. We have a clanmate Lohans. I don't know how to say that, but he's going up against J. Hosed. Wow, guys, these names are really difficult to pronounce. Playing Pekka minions against Expo. So, opponent cycles an E-Spirit. He's going to go in with a Bandit. And, interesting there, the Bandit got stunned but not damaged. Man, Bandit is so weird sometimes. So, he splits minions in the back, and the opponent's got the Fireball. So, like, I was going to say, if the opponent Fireballed that right off the bat, that'd be crazy. So they're going to go Archers at the bridge. A good play by them to assassinate it, and he's going to wait perfectly on the Ghost. He goes with the Ewas. That was not a good play. You need to save the Ewas no matter what for their Expo, or at least until you have full Elixir to cycle it in the back, and they're not at full Elixir. You shouldn't be Ewasing just to get the better end of an interaction like that. It's not going to end up working out well for you, because they're just going to Expo and then Skeletons, and then you're probably not going to be able to defend, because they'll keep spamming stuff in front. So a good Battle Ram in the back. That's how you generally need to be playing this matchup. You need to be cycling all the way in the back until they give you an opportunity to attack. So he's going to go in for Skeletons, but he doesn't protect the Tesla. Tesla does take the damage. And right here, I think he should split minions in the back. He shouldn't be going with a Pekka, and he shouldn't be zapping or poisoning. You need to save both your Zap and your Ewas for that Expo offensive, and here comes the Expo. He Pekkas the bridge, that's the right move there. And the Archers come down, but they're split up on the minions, and yet this is going to be a really good defense for him. Wow, he's going to have a massive counter push coming back at this guy. So opponent going to go in with E-Spirit, and let's see, does he zap the Skeletons? Yes, very nice zap, retargeting the Tesla too. Opponent is very low on Elixir, and he's going to get some huge damage right off the bat. A Battle Ram coming in late. I personally wouldn't have done this, but it's not actually the worst play ever, because the opponent does have to Knight and Log. But that's the reason I didn't want to do it, because if the opponent Knights and Logs, they have Knight counter pushing. And I just don't like having the Knight counter pushing, especially even if he didn't have the Log, it would only connect for 600 damage for a -1 trade, which isn't something, it's something good, but like you have to be really careful when you choose to decide to make that play. Opponent with some really bad Archers there. Those were not the Archers he's looking for. He's going to have to play so much Elixir to counter that. You want to have it so that the Bandit walks into them. As long as the Bandit walks into them, it'll fully counter the Bandit unless the Pekka player zaps. So Pekka in the back, never something you want to do in this matchup. Like, not never, but 99.9. Because look at how awkward this defense is going to be. I don't think the opponent's going to attack correctly here, because he ends up winning this match. I did see before. But he's going to go with an Ewas, and it looks like he is going to be able to defend. Zap coming in, not an amazing Zap. I think he should have just let the Ewas go and finish everything off. But overall, he's playing this matchup well. Other than like the few cardinal sins, everything else has been very good, and I've seen no reason to complain. So opponent going in with an Expo in the middle. Expo in the middle. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't normally like this play for Expo players, because you can just go Ghost right on top of it and Poison, and it's really difficult to defend. But it does let you start making a line of buildings in the middle. Playing Clash of Clans, as I affectionately refer to Expo stacking. And opponent is going to just let everything die on the Teslas, and he's going to go in with an Expo. So Lohans goes in with the low Battle Ram. That's the right idea. Let's see, he's going to Pekka as well in the middle. If that Tesla died, he could have just gone for minions on top. And yeah, this is exactly why. He can just go minions right there. Opponent has to Fireball him. It's not even enough. And so now he goes with the Ghost. I think that's a good play to kill those Archers. Unfortunately, the Ghost gets stuck on the Pekka. Lohans goes Bandit Battle Ram in the opposite lane. Not a bad play, not a great play. It's going to be defended, but it's going to force out Elixir. Actually, might not be defended. His opponent kind of making a mistake. Yeah, and the Battle Ram connects. E-Spirit coming down. Archers having to come down. Lohans with a huge damage lead. At this point, he really doesn't have to go aggressive again. There's no way the Expo player can spell cycle this damage lead. So he's going to go in with, he really needs to save for the Pekka there. Even if he takes a lock, he can zap the Skeletons late and retarget the Expo. He has that much damage to give up. But he does end up getting back to the Expo here, or getting back to a Pekka and getting it down in time. Opponent puts down a second Expo and he uses the Poison. This could be sketchy. This could be really sketchy here. Oh, this is not good. He needed, again, to save for that Pekka, get it down, but he's in triple Elixir time, so he's going to go in for a low Pekka. Good idea there. He's going to get it down just in time. Poison should come down. Yes, Poison comes down. Now he's really far behind in cycle, though. Expo on the right dies, getting a couple hundred damage of a lock, but not the end of the world. Fireball, not a good Fireball. Needed to hit the barbs of the Battle Ram once it popped. Now he has nothing for the Ewas. And that's probably going to be GG there, yeah. Even if the Expo locks here from this point, it's not even going to get enough damage in time. So, kind of a good play or kind of good gameplay. I would say there were definitely a lot of really big mistakes made by him, but in the end, he was able to pressure correctly. He was able to generate those big counter pushes, use the minions to his advantage, even though it's a bad matchup, and get the win. So I mean, he did something right. If you win, you always did something right. And I don't want to like sound too mean, but he definitely made quite a few mistakes there. But overall, good gameplay. So we will go into the third replay. Alright, so we have our clan leader, the Nocturnus here, again going against Expo. So a lot of Expo, you guys at mid-ladder, not mid-ladder, these guys are actually really good. These guys are, oh my god, I see E-Barbs, never mind, this isn't Expo. Oh man, I accidentally just called out my entire clan there. Oh, that's a feels bad moment. Um, but yeah, I will say, this is a Gabri deck. This is kind of similar to the Ardent Toas deck I played in my sub-special, kind of similar, not really, sort of. But he's got Tesla, he's got RG. Um, so, yeah, these will teach you how to play against Expo in general. Not just in mid-ladder, but Expo in general. God, I feel really bad. Most of these players actually have top 10k finishes, so not even mid-ladder. I just call it mid-ladder because I'm so he's going to be playing passively to start off with. No pre-zap on the skeletons. That's probably a good idea until he knows what the opponent's playing. Sometimes the only way to get through a pre-Tesla is by doing pre-zaps like that. Opponent immediately selects Fireball. Let's see if they Fireball. Yes, they do Fireball. Let's see. He should Pekka in the middle here, I would say. But he's going to kite it. Okay, that's a good play as well. And then E was low. You do lose the Battle Ram in this situation to the Tesla and the E-Barbs. But you don't have to spend the Pekka in case he's got an Expo or an RG. I'm curious to know if Nocturnus has identified that it is an RG deck, or if he's still thinking it's some sort of Expo or Cycle deck with E-Barbs. That would be something. That'd be a good question to ask him if I had him on call right now. So he's gonna cycle a bandit opposite lane of the weak side tower, good so that it doesn't get cheap spell damage value or counter push value for that matter. So let's see what he's gonna do. It looks like he's going to Magic Archer in the middle. Yes, good Magic Archer, forcing out a Fireball here. And I actually didn't see who won this match, so won't spoil it for you guys. Opponent's gonna Ice Spirit perfectly, pulling the Ghost, getting so much more value out of that Tesla for 1 Elixir. That's what makes Ice Spirit annoying for me. No, I'm kidding. I get annoyed by everything that ends up doing remotely well against Pekka. So he starts up a Battle Ram in the back, knowing that the opponent does not have Tesla. Now his opponent has Tesla back. Nocturnus does poison. Sorry for my light flickering. That happens sometimes. And wow, the Battle Ram actually got pushed out of the way. Opponent cannot stop it from connecting. He's going to have to take the damage. Barb's actually going to get a hit on the Firecracker. Nocturnus could zap that if he wanted to end that Firecracker's reign of terror. And oh my, Tesla RG at the bridge. I have not seen that before. Very nice. Nocturnus recognizing that the Tesla is going to really put in work if he plays everything too high. So he plays everything lower, and now the Tesla gets very little value. Pekka up at the bridge, I think that would have been a really good play if he got in the Pekka in front of the Ewiz, but Ewiz is super dumb like that. We all know from playing Ewiz that he does not like to stay in behind the Pekka. So Ghost, unfortunately losing all of its HP and going to be killed by the log here. Unfortunately, the Tesla does not die to the Battle Ram either, or the Pekka, excuse me. Firecracker coming over, and this could be kind of scary for Nocturnus. Good Ice Spear. Oh, but the opponent panic Tesla. Marcher gets even more damage, and the opponent wastes 4 Elixir that he could have used to really punish Nocturnus. He was in the back towards weak side. I don't agree with that. Yeah, opponent gets free Fireball damage, which I don't really agree with, unless he was trying to bait out something. He could have been baiting out something, but still, even then, I don't really agree with sacking it. He was there. Nocturnus going with the Marcher for the E-Barb. Does he protect it? No. Oh, he does. Very nice timing. Wow, this E-Barb is actually not going to move. Marcher getting so much value and damage. Ghost, I didn't even see what the Ghost did, but it looks like it cleaned up everything on the other side. Opponent now having to counter this Marcher and almost giving it more value. Nocturnus goes in with the high Pekka. Very nice Pekka, because now if there's an RG, the Pekka can see the RG in the right lane. And it's going to... actually, it walked up to the right lane. So very nice stuff from Nocturnus there. That's actually a Pekka placement I didn't know to use. I'm going to have to start using that if I need to use my Pekka in the other lane. E-Barbs come down. Nocturnus starting a poison cycle. 2 poisons and a zap. Maybe even just 2 poisons outright will do it. So he's going to go in with a Pekka here. It's a good idea, especially since the Ewas will help clean up those skeletons. He zaps just to be sure. 247. Actually, it was just 2 poisons. That will do it. Bandit gonna cycle back to the poison. Good replay there for him. He played that really well. I'm not gonna lie, he played that really, really, really well. Just a few mistakes considering that I think the first attack into the E-Barb, sorry, my computer screen just got messed up. I don't think that was a great idea by him, but it ended up working out not badly. He got the Battle Ram to connect. And yeah, I think just played that pretty well overall. It was a very solid game. Nothing too incredibly special. Yeah, other than that one Pekka, I really like the one Pekka. But a solid game is going to get him the win. It's going to get you guys the win when you play like that. Alright, so we're going into the final replay of the video here against, with my clanmate, Mr. Guy against asterisk parentheses from Minato Riot. So Minato Riot here, I'm just going to call him that, is playing E-Golem with arrows and NATO and barbell. This guy likes his spells. So I'm going to go with the barbell first play. Mr. Guy going with the bandit behind his king tower. Oh, rip. You need the bandit a little bit earlier to get her to pull off. She needs to dash. So I think right there, if he played it like right on the corner of his tower, it would have been good. Opponent E-Golem's right after that, though. Oops, sorry for the laggy gameplay. My phone's kind of being stupid. But the ghost locks onto the tower. Very nice stuff there. Opponent goes with the E-Drag to counter the Battle Ram. That's really not what you want to do here. Mr. Guy going in wisely with a Pekka. He's going to have so much elixir on this counter push. So much elixir. Opponent forced to let the E-Golem go now. And Mr. Guy going to go in with, let's see what he plays here. Looks like he's going to Marcher. And he does get it down before the opponent's E-Blobs die, so he doesn't bleed elixir. Very good stuff for him there. Opponent going in with the healer. And Mr. Guy going in with a poison. He does protect the Marcher. Wow, that was a weird bandit placement to protect. I've literally never seen that one work before. But hey, if it works, it works. So, opponent's tower going to fall here. Mr. Guy going in with a huge aggression as well. But I think he thought the opponent was going to defend, but that's fine. He's now threatening the king tower very, very heavily. Balram connects. Pekka getting shots on tower. And the barbs are going to bring it down to 1601. I thought we were going to get another hit. And the opponent is now quite low in elixir, but it looks like they're still going to try and... yeah, they are going to eagle him. Oh, man. That is going to be not an eagle that he's looking for. So... Mr. Guy is just going to E-Wiz up high. That's a good E-Wiz. To reset the E-Drag, make sure it's not going to get onto the tower for at least a little bit. Good barbell by the opponent, though. And Ghost, unfortunately, is going to get changed by the E-Drag. So he's going to go with a high Marcher. It's a good idea. But the Ghost and going to die to the dragons, pretty much, sort of, is still pretty healthy. Or not healthy. It's still alive. So Mr. Guy going to pressure for the king tower. It's a good decision knowing how low the king tower is. Let's see. He goes in with the bandit in the pocket. Balram does connect 966 on the tower. But he's giving the opponent a really big counter push here. So he's got both of the towers down really low, and his second tower is still very healthy. But the opponent does have a massive counter push. And here, this is not the worst play in the world, but I would have Pekka on the healer to kill the healer and distract the dragons, and then, yeah, just ghosted down low. Sack the tower, but you walk away with a massive elixir advantage, because here, everything's dead now. He's gonna end up defending the tower for the time being, but everything is still dead. And... gonna go with an E-Wiz. Can he zap? Yes, he does get the zap down, but everything's really low HP. The Baby Dragon's splashing as well. So that's going to be tower down, but the opponent had to give Mr. Guy another Elixir Golem worth of Elixir to do it. And tower does fall right there, but both of his towers are now really low. Opponent goes with the healer in the pocket. Opponent is now very desperate here. Pekka for Mr. Guy. I think that's a good Pekka, honestly. I was kind of hesitant because it's going to take so much dragon damage, but it is a good Pekka there just to tank them. Poison, beginning the poison cycle, I would say that's a decent play. Opponent down a lot of elixir. Going to tank the Pekka with an E-Golem. I don't agree with his Battle Ram. Just kind of spamming way too much into this Elixir Golem. But he does get the Marcher on. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be a good game there. And he's going to BM. That's a good thing to do against the Elixir Golem. You always BM the Elixir Golem players. So, I think just a few mistakes, like the Pekka on the E-Golem instead of the healer behind, and then trying to defend with like so much elixir. I actually didn't point that out. I'm just trying to think of something. Let me see. There was something else. I think poisoning or going all in on that barb hut at the end was risky. He could have just set up with defense, like Marcher in the back, and then just peck at everything because the opponent was playing really bad elixir golems. But he ends up getting the job done there. So pretty good gameplay from all of these players. I think the worst of them has like a top 10k finish, so they're not terrible players. And I call them mid-ladder players. Oh, I'm still ashamed of myself for that. That's really bad. But yeah, that was a good video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I will open it up to you guys next time. We're going to do a community tab poll like I do with subs versus jacks. Speaking of which, that will be coming up soon as well. But yeah, we'll be opening up to you guys next time. Let me know what you thought of this video, and I will see you in the next video.